It's 1983, a therapy session in a quiet Lowe's Angel's office. Annie wipes tears from her eyes again. She's talking about James, her partner, elusive, drunk half the time, promises she knows he won't keep. Yet Annie can't walk away. Why does loving him feel like chasing a hurricane, beautiful and dangerous? Robin Norwood lifts the curtain on women like Annie caught in a painful loop of loving too much. What keeps them stuck, and more importantly, how do they break free? Why do women like Annie keep returning to partners who hurt them? Norwood unpacks the deep, often hidden wiring behind this magnetic pull, like it's part chemistry, part history, part soul wound. Annie's story is raw and real. She met James at a party in Hollywood, drawn immediately to his charm but quickly noticing his drinking and mood swings. Despite heartbreak, Annie found herself forgiving and making excuses, trapped in a cycle of hope and disappointment that Norwood heard again and again from women in her practice. Norwood describes this pull like an echo from childhood. Imagine a small child desperate to fix a broken toy. These women aren't just choosing bad boys, they're trying to heal a younger version of themselves who never got the love they needed. This wound acts like a magnet, pulling them toward intimacy that mirrors that early pain. The breakthrough comes when women see these patterns clearly, as if suddenly looking through a dirty window and realizing the view isn't real. Norwood shows that awareness alone begins to unravel the compulsion to love too much, opening the door to healthier relationships and self-respect that feels like freedom. Norwood doesn't just say loving too much is a problem, she compares it to addiction. But why? If loving someone feels like pain mixed with hope, what's going on in your brain and heart? Norwood recounts a woman named Mary, whose boyfriend's highs and lows triggered her brain like a slot machine. Each moment of affection released dopamine, a hit of pleasure drugs, so Mary remained hooked even when nights ended in tears. Their relationship was less about love and more like chasing a fix. Think of emotional hunger like craving salty chips when you're actually thirsty. The women Norwood met often confused their need for affection with true love, chasing attention to fill emptiness inside. This hunger isn't about their partner, it's about a deeper thirst they don't realize is their own. The astonishing payoff: recovery means retraining your emotional response, rewiring how you seek love and validation. Norwood's 10-point recovery guide acts like a reset button, teaching women to meet their needs wisely instead of settling for scraps. It's less about finding the right person, more about becoming the right person for yourself. So you see the trap, understand the chemistry, but how do you escape? Norwood's message isn't just about suffering. It's about reclaiming life and joy through a surprisingly simple 10-step recovery roadmap. In a poignant story, Norwood introduces Lisa, who after years of loving too much, chooses to leave a destructive marriage. Not because she found another man, but because she finally chose herself. This act jolted her out of old patterns and gave her a new sense of identity, when no toxic relationship could erase. Norwood uses the metaphor of a garden fence. Boundaries aren't barriers meant to keep others out, but sturdy posts defining where you stand. For women who love too much, these boundaries rebuild dignity, letting them say no to unhealthy demands and yes to self-care, turning their relationships from drains into sources of support. The ultimate surprise: joy doesn't come from finding love, but from loving yourself enough not to settle for less than you deserve. The women read in Norwood's pages experience a transformation so profound, they trade chaos for peace, addiction for fulfillment, and pain for authentic connection. Remember Annie sitting in that LA office, tears falling yet eyes wide open. She's not broken, just trapped in a story that Norwood helps rewrite. Now imagine yourself stepping out of that loop. Try this right now. Write down one boundary you can set today to protect your peace. It's the first step toward loving not too much, but just enough, starting with yourself. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.